Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I got some time and inspiration this morning to continue working on this analyzer and code fix. I have some coffee. It's a new day. So let's get started. All right. So one thing I wanted to talk about real quick is, just in case it wasn't apparent why you have to do this with GUID, and why couldn't GUID just like make a new GUID on its constructor? Well, it's because of what you're seeing down here below. If you make a struct and you want to create your own public no argument constructor, you'll see this error: structs cannot contain explicit parameterless constructors. Okay, and so then if you come over here, you'll see the error itself, that every struct already has one, so you have to make a custom one. So this is why you can't just not do this. And this is why you have to have that one just sitting there doing an empty initialization. And, again, it's not wrong. It is what it is. You can't, that's the way it works in C#. And so you have to just go, okay, if I'm creating a new thing, and it's a struct, then it's always going to be default or 0. So that's something else that somebody said, is your intention to say GUID.empty or default of GUID. You want the default value. So I'm going to try to give those three options on the code fix. But the point is, this is why. And for some, percentage of structs, that 0 initialization is what you want. In other cases, it's not. So, especially with GUID. And so that's where you have to, do things like this and say, hey, wait a minute, if you really are intending to make a new GUID, what you're probably meaning to do is this: GUID.newGUID. Okay. So that's why I just wanted to point that out to make that apparent. Okay. Gotta get that coffee in the morning. So this is where we want to add a, let's see. Yeah, I want to see. Okay. Sorry, I'm babbling a little bit. The code fix context is what's being passed into you. Yes. What do we need a diagnostic for? Oh, that's when you report the code. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we probably want to do something like this. So what we're going to do is say add code fix, or let's do like add GUID new GUID code fix. Okay. So this case, oh, come on. Stupid spaces. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say find add. We pass in the context, the root, the diagnostic, and the creation node. Okay. And we're going to change this to being that creation node. Okay. And you should not be barking. Creation node is an object creation expression. Change it to a cast. Can you do that? Is it going to let me do that? Yeah, it does. Okay. Because that's what it has to be. If it's not, we're in trouble. Okay. So we're going to do, actually, can you do syntax factory parse? Oh, come on. Parse. Yeah. Because that gives you, oh, well, we want a, Yeah, because parse syntax tree actually does a syntax tree, and that's not. So what we want is to do, I think I did this last night before I went to bed, is basically 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0. There. Something like that. Okay. And we want to say var new invocation node is equal to that. Okay. So let's pull these forward. Actually, why am I doing it that way? That's not how I roll. That's how I roll. Okay, we want to have name of GUID here to do the no system. Okay. And then we want name of GUID.new GUID. Okay. Now there was something in Sysley's analyzers to say if you didn't have the using, that we wanted to put the using in there as well. And that is in the one that does the serialization. Yeah, here. So we got a code fix. Add attribute. If the root doesn't have the using, yes, so then we want to, yeah, we make the new root and then, yeah, okay. So we can say here, eventually we'll get to this point. Okay. Now how do has using is an extension I created, right? Yeah. Syntax node extensions. Add new folder, extensions. And I want to create a syntax node extensions. Okay. Well, then we just cast. And it couldn't get system link. I don't know why it doesn't do that. And we want to change this to what we're doing now. There. Okay. Is null. Okay. All right. Now this isn't technically correct, I think, in that it, like if you're in system.composition, then you don't need system, right? Not sure this. If you have I don't think you need to add system. In this case, type of GUID namespace. So whatever the namespace of GUID is, if it doesn't have it, we're going to put it in there. Okay. Well, we will once we do that. So then above here, what we want to do is say var new root is equal to replacing the creation node with a new invocation node. Okay. It's not true. If new root okay, so you can't and self. Yeah. Okay, so I think I could be wrong, and I typically am, but I think that's what we want to say here. Instead of assuming that the root is a compilation, where do we get the root? Get syntax root. It should be a compilation unit syntax. I mean, I think everything that you ever do, well, gets up to a compilation unit. Okay. So I could see where I could say, instead of this crap. Separate that out. There. Okay. And then you just do something like this. Except code action is that. Now the description, we put the descriptions with the descriptor, but the descriptor is for the diagnostic descriptor. So if I come over here, I have descriptors, I have descriptor constants. Just trying to figure out what's the right thing to do here. Do I want to put in descriptors like this? Is it just like code fix descriptors? But what do I do it here? Yeah, I just put them in the in a constants class. And this is the code fix. So do I want to put the descriptions in the code fix? Sort of makes sense to me. Because it's just one thing. So we could have here, we'll just do that for now. We'll say public const string add GUID new GUID description. So equals add GUID.new GUID. Okay, now I don't know if you need the semicolon at the end. I guess we're going to find that out. Because did I write down what it took? Oh, it says new system GUID and it doesn't have the semicolon. Okay, so we can have find new GUID code fix description. There we go. So that does that one. Okay. All right. Now one more thing. We come back over here. There was something I was doing, I thought. Hold on. Maybe it wasn't this one. It was, yeah, normalize white space with additional annotations. Because why not? Wait a minute, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Okay. Because you do. Why not? Yeah, there was a bug I fixed in one of the CSLA analyzers about a month or so ago that was really driving me nuts with formatting. And what did I do there? That was like making something public static read only. Is operation method public? No. It was find operations with non-seriable. No. Find operations, value properties for simplicity. Let's see. Just give me a second here. Was it? Yeah, public static, read only. So I thought, hold on. I got to go to because I might not have, well, I would. Why wouldn't I have the latest version here? source analyzers. Analyzers, what was this one called? The value of management fields. To not duplicate comments. Yeah. SyntaxGenerator. That's what I was using. Yeah, so I don't have the most recent version here. Go figure. Okay. So should I do that instead? Syntax generator. Sure. What does that do? Gets the generator. For the context document. And then we can say, yeah, what difference would that be though? Like here we're saying that is the field node that we got. And we want to make sure that it has static and read only, and also that it's accessible as public. Always. And then we replaced it, and it worked in the root node. I don't really know what we would get as being different by calling the generator in this case, but you know, what do I know? Maybe somebody's actually doing like the whole invocation is across 2 lines and they want to put, you know what? I'm not even going to care about that. Just give me like, here, you do what you need to do. Okay. One thing I do want to look at here quick though is, yeah, if I don't do all this stuff and I say, yeah, they don't really, okay. Okay. So I think this is correct. And what would really be nice is to now actually have the vsix file instead of trying to write the test, right? So how do we make the vsix file? So if I go to my Analyzers 3 project, which unfortunately I ditched, and I need that. I've done this before where you create the extension project separately and I just forget how to do it. And I don't want to look it up right now. I'm going to struggle, and because if I can do this quicker, then I can run it and create a project that has the cases that I'm looking for, just to quickly visually see what is it that I need to do. Okay. So if I come down to V6, what is this? All that stuff, because that makes sense. Well, yeah, what I could probably do if I really wanted to is, you know, just copy these and put them in there and then load it. And I have no idea if this gets like duplicated or what. The problem is if I come over here and I say add new project and I say I want to make an extension back for extend, I would imagine it's this one. Transpire. And then what did, let me say just V6 here so I know what the hell it is. Great. I don't need a package. And now I just want to look at this. Right, because we want to put this in here. So dependencies. That's interesting. That's really interesting. That is not opening it up the way I thought it would. So I don't think it did the right thing. Yeah. I have the feeling this is like an older way of doing it. And we want the... Okay, so that's the ID that I saw over here. And it is different. So you know what? I'm going to grab that over here. Okay, and then I'm going to close this. And then I'm going to say kill that. don't save. And then I'm going to go into here and I'm going to do, what did I just do? Oh, just repos. Analyzer 3, vsix, csproj, and vsmanifest. And then I'm going to come over to here and I'm going to say, where's Transpire? Source. Except we want to kill all that. Put those in there. Okay, now this, I want to say this Transpire. And then we're going to edit that in Notepad, because why not? Pull this over here. So anywhere where there's Analyzer 3, we want to say Transpire. Okay. And we don't want that. Okay. Because then you go upper directory, Transpire, Transpire. Okay, that's all you want. Okay. And then we come to the source extensions. And I want to, here's all my notes. Grab that, put that here. Display name is, okay, we don't need the code fixes. We do need that. Display name, they just says Analyzer 3, so we just want to change that to Transpire. Okay. There's a whole lot of, I don't know what the hell. So, we're going to see what we can see. We're going to add an existing project on Transpire called vsix and see if it finds everything, and it does. It's got Transpire there. Let's make this our startup. Actually, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's add a new project, and we're just going to make a simple class library. We're going to call it Transpire integration tests. Bad word, but that's what the vsix project. Should I actually call that like vsix integration tests? Because it's really only meant for, no, you know what? Scenarios. And we'll just make it standard 2.0, because why not? Okay. So we want to have in here public static class calling new GUID. Okay. So we want a public static GUID get with new GUID. And we're going to say here new GUID. Okay. Which is not what we want. What we want is something like get with GUID new GUID. Okay. So I'm going to say GUID new GUID. And yes, I could, I know what's going to say here is I can do target type, and I don't want to really care about doing that right now. Okay, so I'm going to change that name to that. Okay. And then we're going to set that to startup and see that fail. Because what we're hoping this does is that it actually brings up a new Visual Studio and that everything's going to work. Which, of course, what do we know? The first time you do something, it's not going to work. That's just a given. Okay. It's really taking its sweet time doing this. Okay, well, that's one step. So it's bringing up Visual Studio. And we're going to say, oh, can we do this? If I say open project or solution, is it going to be bright enough to realize if I just want to bring up a project, that that's what it will load? It should. I mean, I guess we're going to find out. Yeah, this usually takes some time. Is my... Okay, well, Hobbs isn't dying. So Hobbs is not dying. I'm going over again, and I want to get this done with. Okay, loading project 0 of 4. How do you think that there are... What are you doing? No. This is not what I want you to do at all. This is not even close to what I want you to do. This is not even remotely what I want you to do. Okay. Well, that... I'm going to clean this up because I did not mean for that to open up all of these. So... Give this a second. Let's see if it can actually figure out all the things here. Still thinking. Still thinking. Yeah, I meant for... I mean, I thought I said scenarios. And I'm hoping it eventually gets there and it says, yeah, you don't want to do new GUID. Oh, wait. Oh, hey, well, look at that. Okay, do not create a new GUID via its no argument constructor. Okay, now here's the moment of truth. Add GUID.new GUID, what does that do? We do the right thing. Awesome. Obviously, this needs some cleanup. I want to actually make a solution called vsix scenarios and have the project load into that. I will create one of those off camera, and then I'm going to start creating some. I will create another episode where I will work on the unit test for the code fixes and some other things, and then that should be enough for now because I need this demo for Friday. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.